This story starts behind a school, with a group of bullies all sitting down and discussing how webtoons these days are really boring. They debate about how they're always got some loser getting stronger, and about school violence. The bullies then joke around about how school violence doesn't happen anymore and is a thing of the past. One bully adds that it's because the authors are old and think school bullies are still around everywhere these days. Looks like he was right. As they were laughing, one of the bullies snapped out of it and asked our protagonist, Sooyeon Kim, if he was keeping watch properly. Sooyeon gets frustrated, but quickly puts a smile on his face and responds, saying, "Of course." He then reflects on the situation and thinks to himself, "How is this not bullying?" But then suddenly out of nowhere, one bully puts Sooyeon in a headlock and the bully shouts, "End school violence." Our boy yells for the bully to stop and tries to struggle, but he is quickly tossed on the ground as the bullies then decide to leave, saying, I guess it's not ending," as one of the other bullies replies with, "Nope." Sooyeon then lies on the ground as he starts to think about where his life went wrong and why he should have to live like this. He says he can try yelling out the tired old slogan, "End school violence," as much as he likes, but no one ever shows up to do anything about it. Sooyeon then thinks about how webtoons and web novels are always about getting quests, receiving rewards, and growing stronger like characters do in video games. Is that my boy, Yoo Jung-hyuk? He thinks to himself about how he wishes he could do that too. Sooyeon mutters the words, "quest window" to himself, but then starts to shout, "quest window" over several times. He gets up and sits down by the wall as he then realizes how crazy he sounds as he soon says, "That will never happen. This isn't a web novel. There's no way something like that will appear out of nowhere." "I beg to differ, buddy." Suddenly, a bright blue flash lights up Sooyeon's face, which surprises him. A blue status window pops up which reads, "Quest window activated." Shocked, he yells, "What the heck is this?" As the quest window flashes again and now reads, "Would you like to begin the quest?" Sometime later, we are transported back to the classroom where Sooyeon mentions that there are two kinds of people in this world, the popular kids and the loners. He explains that if you're outgoing and active, you're a popular kid, and if you're shy and introverted, you're a loner. He says that he thinks that the terms popular kid and loner are just replacements for bullies and losers. Sooyeon says that's a change he feels grateful for, and that he would rather be referred to as a loner and not a loser. But all that is about to change for our boy. Sooyeon summons his quest window and is reluctant to believe that this is all real, so he spends a small portion of his time opening and closing the status window until he is 100% sure that this is real. Sooyeon ponders on the idea of pressing yes and beginning the quest and what it would even mean. But as soon as Sooyeon decides to push the button to begin the quest, a girl abruptly steps in the way, and Sooyeon ends up poking her stomach. Shocked, Sooyeon immediately looks up to notice that this is his classmate Charon Baek, who looks down on Sooyeon with a disgusted look, saying, "This is sexual harassment." Gigi's my goat is cooked. Sooyeon nervously tries to play it off, but Charon quickly cuts him off, calling him a creepy little nerd and slaps him across the face. "She couldn't have got that slap off me." Charon then asks Sooyeon, who is still in pain, to go to the school snack shop for her because she is craving a sandwich. Sooyeon then asks her why she couldn't go get it herself. Then, she angrily goes off to brag about how good her legs look, and how those legs got her 200,000 Instagram followers, and how it would be a shame if she were to trip on her way to the snack shop, which she then asks Sooyeon, would he take the responsibility for her injuries? Sooyeon quickly realizes that there is no point in trying to argue with her, and decides to just go. As he is leaving, he asks her for the money which Charon tells him to pay for himself. "Excuse me?" Sooyeon leaves the classroom and reflects on how he doesn't stand up for himself and how he doesn't speak up against injustices. But interrupting that thought is one of the bullies from earlier, and he then proceeds to clothesline Sooyeon, knocking him to the floor. "Hulk Hogan, is that you?" As Sooyeon weakly tries to get up off the floor, he monologues about how he vows to expose all the bullies after they've become successful in life and looks up at the bully with a livid expression. But as he does so, the bully looks back at Sooyeon with a blank and stale look, which then makes Sooyeon say sorry and apologize and the bullies leave. We fast forward to the evening, and Sooyeon is yelling at his mom about how he wants to drop out of school because he isn't learning anything, and says how he would much rather be a new tuber. His mother swiftly dismisses the idea. Sooyeon fires back and explains that school is a waste of time, and that even if he did get into a college, he would just get some mediocre white-collar job, which his mother also fires back and says she has a knife in her hand, and that if he doesn't quiet down, she might do something she will regret. You better shut up, Sooyeon. Sooyeon is still adamant about the idea, but then his sister Da-yeon jumps in and jokingly says, "What do you think this is, viral hit?" Sooyeon immediately tells her to shut up, which she then tells him to make her. Sooyeon then angrily runs off into his room and slams the door. Lying in bed now, he asks himself, "Why am I like this?" Sooyeon then gets up and decides to pull up the quest window and test it out to his heart's content. The system then states that every time he completes a quest, he will be rewarded with a card. He ponders on this thought, but the system starts generating a tutorial quest that tells him to apologize to his mom with the reward of 1 gold card. Sooyeon quickly jumps up and is surprised that apologizing to his mom is a quest, and also gets excited at the idea of getting a gold card and immediately thinks of selling it. The system also explains the ascending order of the cards, which is bronze, silver, and gold. Sooyeon dismisses this and just wants to know if he can sell the gold card or not. Doesn't he know to read the fine print? He then hurries out of his room, calls out to his mom, startling her in the process, and tells her that he's sorry for yelling at her earlier. The system notification pops up and states that the tutorial quest has been completed and that he has been awarded a gold card. Sooyeon then returns to his room and imagines how much the gold card could be worth. Saying the words, "claim card," his room begins to glow. The gold card appears and states that using this card will allow him to grow 1.2 inches taller. Sooyeon activates the card, runs out of his room, and calls out to his mom, startling her again, and states that he grew taller and that he is over 5'6" now. He's going to give her a heart attack. His mom also apologizes to him and then calls him to sit down for dinner. And while eating, Sooyeon realizes that he is always apologizing at school, but this is his first time ever apologizing to his mom. The next day arrives, and Sooyeon is walking through the halls with a big smile on his face. As he walks past, 2 of his female classmates notices that Sooyeon is taller. One girl says that he probably just has lifts in his shoes, but the other female classmate corrects her and says, "No, he doesn't. He's wearing slippers." Hearing this, Sooyeon now has an even bigger grin on his face as he continues to walk down the hallway. As he is doing so, a new tutorial quest starts generating, and he begins to get excited. It states that the reward for completing this quest will be a gold and silver card. Sooyeon gets really excited now, even monologuing about how the system is being too generous, considering how easy the quests are. He's clueless. Suddenly, Sooyeon bumps into his classmate Charon. Simultaneously, the quest is now finished generating, and the new quest is to kiss his classmate Charon Baek. Welpo 7. Charon looks at him with a displeased face and tells him to watch where he's going. Shocked, Sooyeon stood there frozen and failed to respond to Charon, who then asked him if he has a death wish. "Well, nice knowing you, Sooyeon. You will be missed." Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to leave a like and sub if you enjoyed the video. Also, comment down below which series you want me to cover next. Future uploads are on the way, so be on the lookout. See ya, peeps.